This video commemorates the 10-year anniversary of the Travels with Yoli channel. It details all 11 campers that we've tried and shows glimpses from the more than 110,000 miles we've journeyed. Along the way, we've managed to share 400 videos on the channel, and we plan on continuing well into the future. Yoli and I met at work some 34 years ago, and we've been together now for the last 33 years. We enjoy our company together so much that it makes sharing a small space totally enjoyable. We both love traveling and having new adventures. I got my first Kodak movie camera back in 1959 when I was 11 years old, and have been making movies now for over 60 years. We travel part-time out of our home in North Georgia and have traveled over 10,000 miles a year for the last 10 years of our 14-year retirement. I'm a bit older than most YouTubers, and we have to make do with modest equipment as we live on a fixed income, but we have fun nonetheless. Of the 400 videos on the channel, not one of them has ever been monetized. We have never made a penny from YouTube. I have never asked or suggested anyone subscribe to our channel. You will never see an ad, commercial, or product endorsement in any of our videos. We do it for fun, and that makes it unique in this community. We are also not vloggers and would rather show you where we are rather than tell you what it's like to be there. Mr. DeMille, I'm ready for my close-up. We started our cross-country travels in April of 2010 with an 8,000-mile-plus journey across the country covering 16 states, 8 national parks, with 17 stops to visit friends and family. This proved to be an expensive proposition. That same year, in September, we trailered our Zodiac Rib to Lake Powell and began our attempt to reduce costs by purchasing a sports truck bed tent. It was a minor price to pay for some valuable lessons. The tent proved to be inconvenient. Putting it up and taking it down every time we drove the truck was tedious, and bad weather and frequent leaks in the air mattress didn't help either. But it did teach us that there was money to be saved by spending nights on our own terms, so we decided to upgrade from the tent to a more permanent structure in the form of a conventional truck topper, or cap as they're called. We chose an MX model by ARE with a convenient rear walk-through door option. We added tilting side windows with included sliding windows. We added carpeting throughout, a 12-volt power source and sliding front window. I quickly made our own blackout curtains, and not long after added fine mesh screens to all the openings. We ate and slept in the back comfortably for a couple of years.
Hey boys and girls, we're having an awesome time.
Yes, we are.
In scenic Highway 87 in Hester State Park in South Dakota. Yeehaw! You weirdo. You weirdo. It's so pretty here.
The cap was a dual-layer fiberglass construction, 1 inch thick with high-density insulation between the layers. It was strong and insulated temperature and noise very well. While traveling cross-country in occasional bad weather, we would stop for a night at a motel, and Yoli would acclimate quickly. At night, Yoli would track and record expenses while I downloaded video and charged camera batteries. The bed was comprised of 2 9-inch thick futon mattresses, a double-sized sleeping bag, and a down comforter. It was a very comfortable place to sleep and very cozy. I also added a fantastic fan in the roof to better circulate air for more ventilation. On shorter local trips, we would carry more gear and stay put longer. We had absolutely everything we could possibly need. A while later, we added a 10x10 pop-up to protect us from the elements while cooking.
What are we doing?
Watching a movie.
Yeah, and then what?
And eating oatmeal and having coffee and just relaxing.
But we then learned that high winds and rain made cooking outside quite difficult, and we decided to invest in our first pull-behind travel trailer. Our 2013 Tab provided an indoor kitchen as well as a place to sit comfortably at night and perform our digital chores, not to mention the ability to stand up. We still had the truck bed set up for sleeping, so in essence we now had a 2-bedroom camper. The Tab was hyped as being a camper built in Ohio by Amish craftsmen. True to expectations, the woodwork and cabinetry set a standard never to be found in any of the 8 campers that followed. Everything was solid birch wood, with not a hint of pressboard or laminated cardboard anywhere. It was truly beautiful. It truly had everything we ever thought that we would want. A porta potty, a 3-way fridge, although small, and an ingenious couch/bed arrangement. The backrest tilt mechanism had a locking position at a 45-degree angle, which made watching TV a delight in the evening. I had no idea then how much I would miss this concept in the years to come. We were so enthralled that we envisioned this to be the future of Travels with Yoli, and we boldly careened into the future. We explored our home state of Georgia, as well as Tennessee and Florida, and finally decided that we had learned enough about this RV lifestyle by now to venture north to the Adirondacks in upstate New York and to the tip of Maine in New England. We had a great time, but once again learned some valuable lessons along the way. While the woodwork in the Tab was impeccable, we slowly found that all the mechanical systems were installed by people more familiar with woodworking. Things were wired backwards and things were installed backwards. I was always fixing things. The fiberglass shroud in the front disintegrated in 6 months. The loaded 2,000-pound rig rode on a max-rated 2,000-pound axle, with stresses that caused uneven tire wear in some cases. Collapsing the dinette table every night and then having to wait for Yoli to get out of bed before I could make breakfast in the morning was inconvenient. Me having to leave the camper in order for Yoli to have room to make the bed up at night wasn't convenient either. Eventually, it began to feel a bit cramped inside. We also discovered that this unique and cute little teardrop came with a novelty price attached. As you can see, though, we still had plenty of fond memories. Oh, it just comes right off.
How did you do that?
Look at that. Look at that.
How did you do that?
Pulled right out of there. Look, Yoli. Look, I'm an alien. Hello.
Look, I'm
Hello.
getting juice
I'm in
all
Star
over.
Wars.
How did you do that?
This was delivered to our site by the campground owner. Cooked, steamed, ready to eat, brought to your door, $7 a pound. Today, boys and girls, we are going to show you how to make the seared ahi tuna. The burner she is lit, yeah? Not the AM FM tuna. This is some kind of tuna. This is how you cook in the tab. This is tab cooking. You must not confuse it with other kinds of cooking. This is for tab only. Boys and girls, the tab tuna is done. Oh, look, boys and girls. This is perfectly done, yeah? Can you see? Can you see? Huh? Can you see? One big slab of tuna. People next door probably think I'm crazy.
Well, you are crazy.
Cooked to perfection, boys and girls. This is tab cooking the tab way with tab tuna. Biddy, that's all, folks. We found that for a little more money we could get a larger, more fully featured camper with a dedicated queen bed with room to move around inside. We fell in love with the floor plan and wondered why we hadn't thought of this in the first place. The camper came with TV mount outside, and I quickly delegated the stock 19-inch TV for that duty and upgraded the interior TV to a 32-inch. I've always had a penchant for big screens. The dinette seemed small to us and was naively overlooked due to our inexperience. It later proved to be a major disappointment. The bathroom was small, but compared to the previous nothings, it was a functional delight. The small fridge seemed adequate, but would later turn into a major nightmare. We set out for the Pacific Northwest on Discovery's maiden voyage after replacing the stock Chinese tires with really good Kumho tires. The nearly 9,000-mile journey was a delight and an eye-opener. It really opened our eyes to the wonders that this country has to offer and the ease of access that the RV lifestyle provides.
No, but I'll hit it. It'll look really cool, look like 3D. What if I hit it?
Shake it, Neil, shake it.
The great experience of the Pacific Northwest trip and associated issues that we had with the cobblestone construction led us to once again naively think that by spending more money, we could get a bigger and better product. So once again, we fell in love with the floor plan of Heart of Gold and thought about spending more time on the road than we ever had before. I'll let the video speak for itself. With the slide out extended, the living area was huge and included tons of storage throughout the camper. A full queen bed with floor-to-ceiling closets on each side. Really nice privacy doors on the bedroom area provided complete separation from the living area. A really nice large fridge, as well as my custom mount and big screen TV in the entertainment center, was a nice feature. We did find the dinette seating to be very uncomfortable very quickly though. The bathroom was the full width of the camper at the rear and included a really nice sized modern design shower stall. Tons of storage in the bathroom also. We opted for the upgraded 16-speed Max Air remote-controlled rain vent. We wintered down in Florida for 2 months and then headed out west to the coast on another 8,000-mile journey. What we found along the way was that this unit truly had been assembled by drunk chimpanzees. Both shower door plastic rollers broke off within the first 100 miles of interstate driving. We found both doors laying on the floor at our first lunch stop. We did not enjoy so much the beautiful indoor waterfall cascading down the interior wall of the slide-out the first time it rained due to the absence of any sealant on the slide-out roof. We also didn't enjoy seeing the cabin flood 4 more times on the journey due to inadequate window seals and leaking and mismanufactured plumbing in a variety of places. We made all the appropriate repairs and quickly sold the unit shortly thereafter with a dead spot in our psyches. Frankly, we were so discouraged with the RV industry as a whole that we almost gave up on the concept completely until stumbling upon the amazing little runaway Range Runner. It was not built in the geographic area of most RVs that seem to be concentrated in the Midwest. It was built by a small Florida builder who had a goal of building an easily affordable camper that would be reliable and be able to be customized by each individual owner to suit individual needs and be able to be towed by almost any vehicle on the market. They were built like no other RV on the planet, having oversized components throughout. Imagine having a 3,500-pound rated axle on a 900-pound camper. With a 15-inch alloy wheel option, this rig could be towed easily all day long at 85 miles an hour with nary a hint of an issue. Frankly, this was by far the most reliable camper we'd ever seen, and one in which I had 100% faith and confidence in. What a difference from all our previous experiences. Obviously, this was a major departure from our previous endeavors and a much more utilitarian concept. I viewed the absence of a pressurized water system, 12-volt electrical and propane systems as a means of eliminating those failure modes. The solid 3/4-inch marine-grade plywood roof, covered with a 39,000-inch painted aluminum sheet, required no lap sealant and had no water entry points. This was almost a maintenance-free camper. by designing and building the interior myself, it proved to be the most comfortable and reliable interior of any previous campers. I'll let the video speak for itself.
You know those knuckleheads you hired killed the wrong Angelo Simonetti?
What? Yeah, now you're going to have to...
Like Dr. Clayburgh said. Right, and remember what he said? He said that a woman like Carla...
I'm a journalist. Oh, not bad. What do you think, Snowy?
Snowy.
Snowy. Isn't she a beauty?
Since so much activity was focused on being outdoors, such as cooking, we found it convenient to create trips based on favorable weather windows, which typically had to be confined to short periods of time in the not-so-distant future. Although we dearly love this camper and can say that it didn't let us down or disappoint even once, we realized that we still had one major item left on our bucket list, that would be difficult to complete in such a limited form. It was also influenced by our newfound discovery and infatuation with truck campers. Stay tuned.